So Micheál Martin has been doing the rounds. He's been down in Cork, in his old stomping ground, his constituency. He's been down at the train station there. He's talking about opening up new platforms, expanding the capacity of the railway system, especially in the Cork area. And very interestingly, he's talking about growth explosion in Cork, talking about the population of Cork will rise by around about 50% between now and 2040. That's only 15 years. So what's going to happen in Cork to cause the population to explode, literally explode, over the next 15 years by around about 50%? We know Irish birth rates aren't going up that much. So if more Irish people aren't being born in Cork, how is he planning on exploding the population by around about 50%? And more importantly, where is he going to put them? Where is he going to put them, given that there's an acute housing shortage in the area? As per now, the government aren't meeting their house building targets as per now, and people are not particularly enamoured with what's going on. So let's hear what Micheál has to say and think about this. Let's ponder this and try and come up with some realistic working solutions for the problems that effectively he's posing or will impose on the people of his constituency by bringing in or exploding the growth by 50% and putting them where? Maybe tent cities? I don't know. Let's hear what he has to say.
The transformation of the station into a really modern piece of transport infrastructure. And it reflects the fact that Cork City and County and Hinterland is now a central part of the National Development Planning Framework.
The National Development Planning Framework. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? National Development Planning Framework. Set against the backdrop of rising homelessness, a housing emergency crisis, a healthcare system that's falling apart, people haven't got places to put their kids into schools in some areas for September, and on it goes. Policing, crime, but National Development Framework, Cork's going to play a big part in it.
In terms of a growing population, it's estimated that the Cork will be the fastest growing city in Ireland, over 50%, meaning by 2040 Cork will be home to 320,000 and indeed more very, very fortunate people.
Very, very fortunate people. 320,000 people or families in Cork by 2040. You heard it yourself. He reckons it'll be 50% more in the next 15 years, and it'll be the fastest growing city in Ireland. So where are these people all coming from? The birth rates are dropping. They're not going up, at least among Irish people anyway. And anyone that's going to be born in that area is, in his words, going to be a very, very fortunate person. Well, we know there's a lot of very, very fortunate people piling into Cork at the minute. Very fortunate. They're getting free accommodation, free healthcare. They're even getting their cars fixed and maintained, chauffeur driven around, engine replacements, all free. So there's a lot of very, very fortunate people in Cork already, wouldn't you say?
And it will be a thriving hub to support those living, working and doing business across the entire southern region. And a modern city and hinterland needs a modern public transport system. And the investment in the Cork Commuter Rail programme, the largest ever investment in the Cork Rail network, will transform the experience of our city in the coming years.
You know, someone made a comment that planning for something and actually executing the plan are two different things, and securing funding for something and actually translating that into something material rather than something on a spreadsheet or a soundbite coming from behind a podium are two different things. The government lied about their house building was on track for last year. They're already falling behind already. Lying about people coming into, everyone coming into the country is vetted and fingerprinted, and we know who they are. There's another report was published today to say 96% of people that came into Ireland last year, in the last 6 months, 96% of people with no documentation were still given asylum status. So anyway, Micheál's saying it, so there must be some truth to it, mustn't there?
And the opening of this platform today will save the people significant inconvenience, changing trains and so on, from Mallow, Middleton or Cove. This is just the beginning. Many more improvements are planned. We're looking at a trebling of capacity here, and also we're looking to 10-minute journey times. The station has an emotional resonance for most Cork.
10-minute journey times. He's looking at 10-minute journey times from where or to where. And without getting too conspiratorial about it, you know, there's a lot of talk about movement towards 15-minute cities, globalization. You should be able to work and live and exist within 15 minutes of your place of work. Now we're talking about trebling the infrastructure. Cork's going to grow so much, it's going to be a huge hub. It's going to outgrow Dublin. We want to remove inconvenience for people. We want to make sure that they can get from A to B with minimum fuss, and importantly, under 15 minutes. Notice he goes a step further, and he even talks about a 10-minute journeying time. What do you think about that? This is a piece that was published recently in a Cork business journal. Cork to see a surge in population as the city anticipates thousands of new jobs. Doing what? Doing what? Cork is expecting 20,000 new homes built in the city and its suburbs by 2028. So that's only 3 years from now. An extra 20,000 homes, 31,000 new jobs set to be created. And here we have a mixture of people posing, no doubt. I don't think they're real doctors, chefs and construction workers or whatever they are. Cork career opportunities. Cork's new jobs will range from manufacturing, engineering and life sciences to education, health and retail. Well, again, it sounds good on paper. What's the reality? Well, in the same article, the reality is that growth on this scale doesn't come without growing pains. Growing pains. I'd say it'll be excruciating pain. Cork, like the rest of Ireland, is grappling with an acute housing crisis. Here you have it in the same article. It's saying it's going to explode, it's going to grow, but then they're saying we're also grappling with an acute housing crisis. National housing targets of 40k per year are already being missed, and Cork is no exception. So jumping back to the first part of blurb in this article, you know, 20,000 new homes built in the city by 2028 is immediately going on to say that there's an acute crisis, grappling with an acute crisis. Targets are already being missed, and Cork is no exception. So what do you think is going to change between now and 2028? It's going to be the same government, the same inept government, treacherous, lying government. So what do you think is going to magically happen over the next 3 years? The city's rapid office development is outpacing the delivery of homes. In other words, they're building more offices than homes. They're building places for people to work, but nowhere for the people that work in them to live. The Cork Business Association has called for a system that ensures every new office desk space granted is matched by at least one residential bed space. But if this office space is taken up, the desk space is taken up by one person, what about that person if he has a family or she has a family? They have a partner, that means 2 people, and they have 1 kid, that means 3. So again, this is the mentality. Every new desk space must have a bed space. No, every new desk space must have potentially 2 to 3, I would think, bed spaces. Otherwise, where are they going to put the kids? So that's the state of play. Interestingly, I would like to hear from any Cork residents. If you're living in Cork in particular, what's your view on this one? Is it all pie in the sky? Is it more bunkum coming from Micheál Martin? I can only explain what I'm hearing him saying and what I'm seeing written in the area. Natives of Cork, tell me, is this fantasy land? Are they living in cloud cuckoo land? Or is this doable? Or is it something you would welcome, an extra 50% on top of your current population in the next 15 years. For now, I'm Rick Munn, No Risk, No Reward Media, over and out.